Parameshwari, who rules the world, Paramashakti, Manonmani, Meenakshi, as Nithyananda. I took Nijavatara here to give good boons to everyone, to bestow all goodness. Hiranyagarbhasvarupini, Brahmandayoni, Shami, Chandramauri, Rapala, Aparna, Uma, Parvati, Savitri, Navayavana, Samrajalakshmi, Parameshwari, Parashodasi, Meenakshi. Taking the form of Nityananda, I came here as Nijavatara. With great compassion, I am blessing. Listen, people, to do good to all of you. I took the form of Nityananda and came down as Nijavatara. And in the words of Devi Parashakti herself, she continues on, raising in Omkara, blossoming as Shiva, Shiva manifesting as the source of existence, the powers of existence, the expression of existence, from the oneness of Om, blossoming into two as Prakriti and Purusha, blossoming as three Shaktis, Ichakti and Jnana, growing as the four Vedas, expanding as the five Panchabhutas, beyond the six chakras, filled as the Gotras of the seven Rishis, expanding as the eight directions, existing as the nine grahas, blossoming as the 10 Indriyas, being as the 11 Mudras, creating all the worlds, bringing to life to tell and make truth blossom, and to do good, Parashodasi, Meenakshi. In the form of Nityananda, I came to bless every one of you. We can continue to the next slide, please. And so, how can we receive Devi Parashakti? In the words of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself, literally, you are seeing Paramashiva and Parashakti at that moment. She is there in your screen. So, always receive her very traditionally. Keep two betel leaf, one banana, one betel nut, and one coin in front of the screen. Watch the Devi Darshan, and the coin is considered to be the traditional dakshina. In the Hindu tradition, it can be even the lowest value. In India, it can be even one paise. In the US, it can be even 1 cent. I'm not trying to monetize. Keep even 1 cent. It is okay. So for 100 days, if you have darshan, it will add up to $1. In India, even one paise is okay. And offer that to Devi after the darshan is over. Do namaskar and eat the banana, the betel leaf, and betel nut. Take it as prasadam immediately and collect those coins and send them to the LA temple. This betel leaf, betel nut may look too small, but in a few days you will see how much it adds to your sentiment that really she is there. You will not take the Devi darshan for granted. Rituals will break your monotonous, unconscious mentality and lifestyle and remind you and raise you to the powerful cognition. It will break your unconscious behavior. So this is how you can set up your tambulam with two betel leaf, one banana, and one betel nut, and one coin. You can put that on a plate and offer it to Devi every time you have darshan. And you will see how much your connection with Devi grows. With this one now, we will be entering into the next segment where we will understand some of the revelations made by Devi Parashakti for humanity at this time. As all of us know, Devi has been continuously blessing us and guiding us, has been protecting us during this time with various revelations, sacred secrets, and guidances for humanity. So let us look at some of those revelations and understand what Devi has revealed and how we can use Devi's revelations to protect ourselves during this time. So let us understand what Devi Parashakti has revealed about the sea levels rising. So first, let us understand the compassion of the avatar. And the Guru Padaka Stotram, composed by Adi Shankaracharya, the very first verse describes how the Guru Padakas, the sacred feet of the Guru, is the boat that helps us cross the Ananta Samsara Samudra, the seemingly endless ocean of samsara or suffering. And in this verse, Adi Shankaracharya explains, salutations to the sandals of my Guru, which is a boat which helps me cross the endless ocean of life, which endows me with a sense of devotion to my Guru, and by worship of which I attain the dominion of renunciation. Many of us have been feeling stuck in the same storming and raging ocean, being unable to navigate ourselves and lost in the overwhelming vastness of the suffering that surrounds us during the Pralaya, the Great Deluge. Our loved ones are dying due to the pandemic. Our homes are being destroyed due to natural disasters. Social institutions are crumbling around us, and the whole of humanity is in desperate and dire need of hope. It is at this time that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, the incarnation of the cosmic superconsciousness, out of his love and compassion, having taken the spiritual responsibility for the superconscious breakthrough of the whole of humanity, is manifesting Devi Parashakti, the cosmic mother, and guiding and healing the whole world, as literally the boat that sails us through the Pralaya, the cosmic deluge. And Devi Parashakti is herself manifesting through the Nijavatara and answering each of our prayers, granting boons, healing us, manifesting miracles, removing all of our pain and suffering. And Devi has not just attended to us individually, but also as a humanity at large. Devi Parashakti has guided the whole of humanity in the form of revelations of profound sacred secrets of Sanatana Hindu Dharma, and by showing us the future regarding global issues, the COVID pandemic, natural disasters such as fires, floods, and more, and even the twisted human conspiracies and underground wars, which have not yet surfaced to common knowledge. In this segment, we will be elaborating on the statistical, scientific, and scriptural references of each sacred revelation, which is manifested precisely as the same guidance emerged from Devi Parashakti, for us to imbibe deeply and to start following as Devi Parashakti continues to protect us until this storm ends and we are safely harbored at the shores of our consciousness. So let us look at what Devi has revealed about the sea levels rising on the 19th of May, 2021.
ஆண்ட்ரியாஸ் கல் மூன்றாம் உலகப் போர் ஆண்ட்ரியாஸ் கல் மூன்றாம் உலகப் போரிலிருந்து தப்பிக்க என்ன பாதுகாப்பென்று கேட்கின்றாய், கேட்டுக்கொள் சொல்வதை எல்லாம். மத்திய கிழக்கிலே போர், இந்தியாவில் கொடுந்தொற்று மற்றும் கடல் உயினும் மூன்றில் இருந்தும் காவல் கைலாசம் ஒன்றே. வாழ்விற்கு அதுவே நன்றே. முடிந்தால் வந்து சேர்ந்திடு. ஓம் ஓம் ஓம்.
So let us look at Devi Parashakti's revelations mapped into English. Devi reveals, you are asking which country is safe to escape from the Third World War. Listen to everything which is said. War in the Middle East, deadly corona in India, and rising sea levels. Protection from all these three is one and only in Kailasa. Only it is good for life, if possible, come and reach. on the 19th of May, 2021, while answering the prayer of one of the devotees, Devi Parashakti, manifesting through the Supreme Concept of Hinduism, warned about the sea levels rising and the cascading effects of climate change, the climate change crisis on humanity, exactly as Devi revealed. The very next day, on the 20th of May, 2021, the biggest ever iceberg which was 70 times the size of Manhattan, posing a threat to humanity and causing sea levels to rise. Let us now see the scientific articles about sea levels rising as per David's revelation. On the 20th, so here's the article about the Antarctic ice shelf breaking off on the 20th of May, 2021. The world's largest iceberg broke off an Antarctic ice shelf. This was exactly one day after Davy revealed that that sea levels will be rising and there will be no protection from this anywhere in the world except for Kailasa. And scientists have spoken about sea levels rising and much research has been done about this. And even it's estimated that even under the most modest scenarios, scientists expect that will sea levels rising will affect the coastlines of the Earth significantly in the coming centuries. So you can see that if even if CO2 emissions are curbed to completely zero, we will still see sea levels rising up to 1 meter. We will still see the coastlines being affected up to 1 meter. And if CO2 emissions continue at the high rates that they are right now, we could see up to 5 meters of the coastlines being affected. And sea levels since the 1880s in some ocean basins have risen as much as 6 to 8 inches. That's 15 to 20 centimeters since the start of satellite records in 1993. And according to NASA, sea levels will rise up to 1 to 8 feet by 2100. We can go back to the previous slide, please. And in the United States, almost 40 is in relatively high population density coastal areas. This is, and globally, 8 of the world's 10 largest cities are near a coast, according to the UN Atlas of the Ocean. And so many of us be feeling that we might be not directly affected by sea levels rising, that we may be fine. And we will see in the coming decades and centuries that most of the coastlines will be affected directly, and 40% of the population in the US will be directly affected by this, and many other cities around the globe will be directly seeing the effects of this. And it's not just the communities that are living in the coastlines that will be affected, even communities living more inland will be affected by this. As it was reported, nuisance flooding has already increased between 300 to 900% over the last 50 years. And higher background water levels means that deadly and destructive storm surges, such as those associated with Hurricane Katrina, Superstorm Sandy, and Hurricane Michael, push further inland than they once did. And higher sea levels also means more frequent high tide flooding, sometimes called nuisance flooding. So, as we can see, we will experience more flooding, more destructive storm surges as sea levels continue to rise, and this will affect more communities living inland despite not living right on the coastline. So what is the primary cause for sea levels rising? As all of us know, it is mainly due to global warming, and this is affecting us in two ways. First is that glaciers and ice sheets worldwide are melting and adding water to the ocean. And the second is that volume of the ocean is expanding as the water warms. And a third, but smaller contributor to the sea levels rising is the decline in the amount of liquid water on land, in aquifers, lakes, reservoirs, rivers, and moisture from moving. That liquid water has moved from land to the ocean, and this shift of liquid water from the land to oceans is largely due to groundwater pumping. So, unfortunately, due to human activity. So, you can see an example is the Pedersen Glacier in 1917. It was a fully formed glacier. And in 2005, you can see that almost fully melted. And it's essentially a grassland now. This is just in less than 100 years, one lifetime of a human being. We've seen such drastic effects of global warming and the climate change crisis. And we will continue to see this in the coming years, decades, and centuries. As Devi Parashakti has revealed, no place is protected from this. It is only Kailasa which will have protection from all these effects. And the pace of global sea levels rising has more than doubled from 1.4 millimeters per year throughout most of the 20th century to 3.6 millimeters per year from 2006 to 2015. That's almost double in just while just it was more than double. And while it was pretty stabilized between the in the 20th century, we've seen that it has drastically increased in just in less than a decade. We've seen how much it has increased and how much our human activity has been affecting the world and affecting global warming. Most of the climate change crisis is, of course, due to human activity, and the Greenland ice loss has increased from 34 billion tons per year in 1992 to 2001 to 247 billion tons per year between 2012 and 2016. That's nearly 8 times as much. In just a little over a decade, it has increased to. And on August 2021, the UN published a code red, a warning of worsening global warming and rising sea levels. This was months after Devi Parashakti had revealed that we will be directly experiencing these effects of rising sea levels and the climate change crisis, and that no place in the world except for Kailasa is protected from this. And in the Associated Press, it was reported that some harm from this climate change crisis includes the dwindling ice sheets, the rising sea levels, and the changes in the oceans as they lose oxygen and become more acidic, is irreversible for centuries. And this world is locked into 15 to 30 centimeters, that's 6 to 12 inches of sea levels rising by the mid-century. So unfortunately, modern science is not having a solution for this climate change crisis, for rising sea levels, for global warming. And unfortunately, we will all be experiencing the direct effects of this in the coming years. And even if we are able to significantly curb emissions in the coming decades, as we've seen in the earlier graph, more than a third of the world glaciers will melt before the year 2100. And when it comes to sea ice, 95% of the oldest and thickest ice is in the Arctic, and it is already gone. And so, as we've seen, all of this is due to human activity, and unfortunately, modern science is not having a solution or a way to reverse the damage that has already been done. And of course, as this continues on, as we see more effects from climate change crisis, we will see how it will directly affect our reality. And we've already seen how this climate change crisis, rising sea levels, have been directly affecting our day-to-day reality, as we've seen with the German floods, with the floods in China, with the floods in India, and most recently the floods in New Jersey. And in one report, it shows that more than 150 people are still missing in these German floods and are unlikely to be found. And we can see how as Devi has revealed, that no place will be protected, unfortunately, from the effects of sea levels rising and the climate change crisis. And In science, it was reported that Europe's deadly floods have left even scientists stunned. No one would have expected how devastating these floods would be and how badly they would affect the population. And the, as Devi revealed, unfortunately, no place will be protected from this except for Kailasa. And the climate change crisis has made deadly German floods up to 9 times more likely. And as we've seen, as Devi has revealed, we will continue to see the effects of this climate change crisis. We will continue to see the effects of the sea levels rising and global warming. And unfortunately, as we've stated before, modern science does not have a way to reverse damage. At best, we can slow the effects of this, but there is no way to reverse the damage that has already been done, to reverse the effects of climate change crisis. It is only Hinduism that has provided a solution of healing Bhumata, of healing Mother Earth, and reversing the damage that we as human beings have done to her. It is only through non-violence that we can, and the experience of oneness, that we can actually heal Mother Earth, reverse the damage that has already been done, and reverse the effects of climate change. And when we relate to Bhumata with through non-violence, through oneness, we will see that she directly responds to us. So let us now understand from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself about how Bhumata can actually respond to you when you relate with her.
The human beings have become so distanced from the real life, are ready to explore things. We become so far away from, at least I can tell you from my experience, village boy. When I was 5 or 6, I opened all the alarm clocks in my house and I'll set it back, put it back. I don't see all that in the modern day kids. It's all about that stupid cell phone. Involvement with the reality has drastically reduced. Our whole life is nothing but the screen. Whether your love, your relationships, even your sex, everything is limited to that screen. Am I right? Almost. No, almost. Everything has been reduced to that screen. Involvement with the reality has drastically come down. It is so unfortunate, especially the food, the plastic food dumped into your system. See, all the things which you eat, none of them have life. They are all not grown from life. My guru used to tell, please walk without chappal or covering your feet. Whatever grows in that land, eat, because Mother Earth records when you walk without shoes what all the ingredients are missing in your body. She records what you need for your body, nutrients or vitamins, whatever. Whatever is missing in your body, she produces in that food which grows in that land. And eat that and live. It is too mind-boggling concept. I tell you, only after I started doing it, I realized you don't need any external medicine if you know to live with the nature. Mother Earth, Bhumata, walk on the earth without shoes, in that land what grows will supply exactly what you need for your body. Looks stupid, but after I started doing that, I realized it. Your body does not need any other medicine, anything else. Actually, maybe 2 years before, due to this continuous classes, day and night, and in the night time, the web-based programs for the outside India, all these, my whole eating habits have gone chaos, and no question of rest. It became like a too much on the system. So I had some stomach issues. I remembered my guru telling this, walk on the earth and what grows eat. So I started walking without chappal for a few days. Suddenly I saw in my courtyard a new plant coming up. No seed, nothing, just coming up. I was wondering what is going on. How come suddenly, between the rocks, new plant coming up. And one of the devotee Ayurvedic doctor, he said, Swamiji, if you can get this plant and add it in your food, your stomach will be completely healed. I said, where to get? When he walked into the courtyard, he said, this is the plant. This is the plant. Throughout the campus we searched, we did not find another one. Nobody knows from where the seed has come, from where the plant has come. Understand, it is not that just for me miraculously nature is doing. It is the nature's life. I was ready to play with it, so she showed the miracles to me. Anybody willing to play with her, she shows her miracles to you. Nature is miraculous. If we are ready to play, she shows it. She demonstrates her love, her care. If we go back to the food with life, our life also will start more interacting, more alive, more vibrant, more overflowing.
Now, we've seen what the Supreme Concept of Hinduism has revealed about nonviolence. Let us understand a little bit more about this principle of nonviolence, ahimsa, which is the grand narrative of Hinduism.
We often believe that exacting revenge is a form of emotional release and that getting retribution will help us feel better. Especially this modern day cinema, entertainment industry, cult brainwashes you. The act of revenge as a way of gaining closure after a wrong is done. No! I tell you the truth, revenge has the opposite effect. Revenge is like a korangu sorinjikra mari, ari padangadu. Tamil, they say that monkey feeling itching and scratching itself is never going to settle down. Till that monkey dies, it will not settle down because it will create a wound and it will not keep quiet with that wound. That same wound it will scratch more and more. And it will be more infection, finally the monkey will die. Korangu sorinjikittadum, nama violence la vidaradum onnu. Understand? Mass media, cult, entertainment industry, TV and cinema, cult is brainwashing you telling that revenge is heroism, violence is heroism. No, it is not. Non-violence is heroism. I tell you, in every level, non-violence as a strategy. Because you see, non-violence makes you realize more and more oneness. It strengthens the oneness. Oneness strengthens the non-violence, and non-violence strengthens the oneness. You need to understand the context. Only then you will understand how this non-violence can be a successful strategy. If you miss one or two components and do it out of wrong context, it will become a mess. It will become a laziness and non-involvement. Laziness and non-involvement is not non-violence. Don't use non-violence brand and tag to justify your non-involvement and laziness. No. That's what Arjuna was trying to do in the Arjuna Vishada Yoga. He was telling Krishna, oh, why should I kill people? Why should I kill people? Let me go away and become a sannyasi. Oh, Dubukke, this fellow, when he went to do tapas in the forest also, he got married to a girl. Every time this fellow goes for tapas, whether he brings boons or not, he brings girls. Alright, no disrespect to Arjuna, is incarnation of Nara and Narayana. So no disrespect to Arjuna. Non-be misconstrued or should not be used to portray your non-involvement and laziness, tiredness and boredom. Hinduism is actively enriched. World will become great place. Not only we are a non-violent tradition, we believe in consciousness. We have the science of consciousness, raising the quality of the humanity. We believe in it, we spread it, we live it. We be, live, believe. Let us all understand, non-violence need to be actively lived, be lived, believed, and actively enriched. Actively enriched. All I wanted all of you to know, what Hindus miss, Sri Kailasa should do Tyaga, to tell the world actively, enrich the world actively about Hinduism. Ahimsa paramo dharmaha. Ahimsa is the highest value as per Hinduism. Ahimsa paramo dharmaha. That is the grand narrative of Hinduism. Non-violence is the grand narrative of Hinduism. We need to tell that grand narrative to the whole world. Actively. Actively we need to tell that grand narrative to the whole world. Ahimsa paramo dharmaha. Tyaga, non-violence, unclutching, all these are not inactive, tamasic, inertia, lazy, tired, bored, withdrawn lifestyle. Non-violence means not only you will be non-violent, ahimsa, established in ahimsa, you will actively practice ahimsa and enrich everyone to live ahimsa. You will create an ecosystem where ahimsa can be practiced with integrity. Understand? All the infrastructures needed to keep the non-violence, ahimsa, alive. Media is the non-violent way of reaching out to people and telling the real truths and facts. Like media, education mechanisms, everything should be actively filled with the truths, ideas about non-violence, yaga, spiritual strength, powerful cognitions, all these great truths. Listen. Again and again and again, many are trying to harass me through the social media and all other way, saying that, oh, you are teaching constantly non-violence, ahimsa, peace. Don't you see you are making Hindus weaker and weaker? Understand? If Hindus listen to what I am saying sincerely, they will understand I am trying to make them really stronger. Understand? Strength is intelligent way of existing.
Yeah. Now that we've understood the grand narrative of Hinduism, non-violence, and it is only through this that we can see the healing of Mother Earth. We can see the reverse of the damage that we've already done to Mother Earth. And it is these sciences and truths that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been continuously sharing with the world through the Sri Kailasa Uniting Nations to heal the earth, to help humanity, and to reverse the damage of so much of destruction and violence that we have done to the world. So, if you would like to be a part of this initiative of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, you can go ahead and sign up to be an e-citizen of Kailasa and by visiting kailasa.org. And you can avail all the benefits of becoming a e-citizen of Kailasa and learn more about the sacred truths of Hinduism and how you can heal the Mother Earth, how you can reverse the damage done, and see so much of progress and healing from all of this. So now we will be concluding this portion of the program and we'll be entering into the next segment, offerings segment, where we will be understanding some of the various offerings that we can make to Devi Parashakti. As all of us know, Devi has been continuously guiding us and blessing us during this time. And if you are just overflowing with gratitude for your divine cosmic mother, you can stay tuned for this next segment and understand some of the offerings that you can make to offer your love, your gratitude for Devi Parashakti. And most recently, in the Sundareshwara, Sundareshwara Bhavaswami Darshan, Bhagavan Sundareshwara revealed that even having the intention to offer something is a blessing, is only by the grace of the divine happening in your life. It is only through the divine's grace, through Swamiji's grace, through Devi's grace, that you can even have the intention to offer something. And when the divine gives you that intention, the divine also gives you the ability to manifest that intention, to the ability to make that intention into a reality and offer your love and gratitude. When you have that strong intention, rest assured the divine Swamiji Devi has already showered upon you to make that offering, to offer your love and gratitude. And you you're only given this intention, you're only given this desire by Swamiji, by Devi, by the divine. When they when the divine is ready to shower upon you, when the divine is wanting to manifest through you and to shower upon you, that you will even be given this intention. It is only an opportunity for you to receive more and more from divine, to receive more and more from Swamiji, to receive more and more from Devi. So this is the beautiful context that Bhagavan Sundareshwara has given for understanding the offerings and how to make an offering, how to offer your gratitude and love. So let us now enter into this segment and understand some of the various offerings that you can make to Devi Parashakti. And as you are getting ready for the segment, you can take a few moments now to go ahead and join as a member of Kailasa's SPH Nithyananda YouTube channel. So you can visit Kailasa's SPH Nithyananda YouTube, and you will see the join button next to the subscribe button, and you can go ahead and click on that. And once you've clicked on that, you can choose whichever level of e-Kailashan you would like to be, and you can make your payment directly through the YouTube portal. Once you've done that, you will have the opportunity to ask your questions directly to Devi Parashakti, Bhagavan Sundareshwara, to Swamiji himself through the YouTube comment. Be attended to directly from Devi, from Bhagavan Sundareshwara, and by Swamiji himself. So do take a moment to go ahead and sign up to become a member of Kailasa's SPH Nithyananda YouTube channel. Now let us enter into the offerings segment.
Nithyananda? Nithyananda? Yes, welcome back to this segment where we'll be learning more about the various offerings we can make to Devi Parashakti. The offerings of our love, devotion and gratitude to Devi Parashakti as we get ready to receive her darshan and celebrate her presence in our lives. In the Hindu tradition, the offerings of gratitude to the divine is a pure gift of love, devotion, and oneness. And these offerings are not made out of fear or greed. Rather, it's a celebration of the happening of the divine in our lives, the presence of the divine in our lives. And as we get ready to meet with the divine, to commune with the divine through the darshans, we prepare ourselves for this happening and we celebrate this happening with the offering of our gratitude, love and devotion, our expression of the sacred sentiments through these traditional offerings. And when an avatar lands, the offerings are purely a part of the grand Leela played out for the purpose of enlightenment. So now, as we get ready with our traditional offerings and prepare to receive the darshan of Devi Parashakti, let us contemplate on this Dhyana Shloka, which describes the beauty and splendor of Devi Parashakti. This verse from the Mula Agama, Manonmani Dhyana, describes Devi. It says, Induni bhaveda karavahni nayanam syat Pankajavaraabhaya japakshara sarayuktam Angahimabhushana vichitravasanam syat Tungamakutojvala manonmani swarupam. And the translation of this verse: moon-like face holding Veda books on hand, fire in eyes, with the lotus flower, raising and blessing hands, and one hand with Japamala, beautifully decorated with jeweled ornaments and wonderful clothes and shining crown. Her name is Manonmani. And another Dhyana Shloka on Devi Parashakti from the Mula Agama Manonmani Dhyana. This verse describes ध्यायेत् देवीं त्रिनेत्रां शशिनिभवदनां वेदहस्तां दधानां सव्ये पद्मां वरदमपरे चाभयं च दिव्यैराभरणैर्विभूषिततनुं ब्रह्मादिभिः पूजितां देवीमेव मनोन्मणिं प्रतिदिनं कामार्थदात्रीं शुभाम्. And the translation of this verse, it says, I meditate on Devi with 3 eyes, glowing like the moon and holding the Veda, lotus and gracing with blessing and gracing hands. She is wearing beautiful ornaments. She is worshipped by Brahma and other many gods and showers auspicious boons for all actions every day. And in the Hindu tradition, the divine element of gold is used in abundance in all the traditional rituals and worship of the divine, in the offerings to the divine in the temples and various sacred rituals. So let us look at the significance of this divine element of gold as described in this verse from the Atharva Veda. This verse says, Vedajitam janmanedam hiranyam agnirekam priyatama babhuva somasyaikyam insitasya parapatata pamekam veda samreta ahutatte hiranyam tridastvai vishe. The translation for this verse: triply born by birth is this gold. From the atoms of Agni is one. It becomes dearest to Agni. One fell away from the Soma when it was hurt. One they call the seed of virtuous and powerful Appa, the watery molecules. Let that triple gold be for your long life. And the gold is a divine element in the Hindu tradition. It purifies anything it touches. It is an element of great spiritual significance and spiritual power, of healing and enlightening. The vibration of gold has the power to infuse sattva energy and positive thought currents in anyone who wears and in anyone who sees or operates in its vicinity. Gold is present in all the scriptures, the Hindu scriptures, the Agamas, Vedas, Shrutis, Smritis, Itihasas, Puranas. In all the Hindu scriptures, it is abundantly displayed that gold is the most auspicious and purest metal which purifies our being. In the Hindu civilization, everything was built in gold, exchanged in gold. Ritual feasts were offered in gold bricks. When one was to be saved from life-threatening illnesses, gold was offered as a ritual fee. Gold was in abundance and used for weighing equivalent amounts of commodities, including cows. Kingdoms were built with huge doors of gold. The streets would have huge columns and huge archways made of gold. Horses and cows were dressed in gold. Hindu civilization thrived on the banks of rivers of gold. The Indus River was called Hiranyamaya, the river of gold in Rig Veda. The river Saraswati was called Hiranyavartini in Atharva Veda. Gold is the supreme element for offering gifts to the ones you love and revere. Temples are constructed and paved in gold. Deities are made in gold and decked and adorned in gold because it preserves the enlightenment energy for thousands of years and it lasts forever. So now, let us look at the various traditional offerings that we can offer to Devi Parashakti today as we get ready to receive her blessings and darshan and celebrate her in our space. This verse on Devi Parashakti describes Devi's love for true devotion. So Let us look at this verse. It says, Bhakti Priya Bhakti Kamya Bhakti Vashya Bhayapaha Shambhavi Sharadharadhya Sharvani Sharmadaini. The translation for this verse, it says, Devi is fond of true devotion and is realized through true devotion. She can be won over through true devotion. She removes all fear. If there's any fear in the minds of the devotee, Devi is sure to remove that fear. It is stated that Devi likes to be worshipped in autumn. Here it is meant the autumn of our lives when our thoughts turn more and more inwards. The role of the divine is known and understood here. For Devi worship then becomes stronger. Shambhavi is the consort of Shambhu or Lord Shiva. Sharadharadhya means one who is worshipped by Devi Sharada, Devi Saraswati. Sharvani is the wife of Lord Shiva. Linga Purana says Lord Shiva is called Sharva in his earth form. Sharmadaini is Devi who bestows happiness on devotees. And you can offer your gratitude and devotion to Devi Parashakti by offering your Kanika through the e-hundi offerings on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. And all of these offerings to Devi Parashakti showers her compassion and grace upon the devotees, for she is the one who's fond of true devotion. So you can make this offering of the e-hundi as your token of love and devotion, and you can make these offerings on the website www.kailasamailer.com/. The e-hundi offerings may be made in multiple currencies and any amount of your choice. The next offering to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Sankalpa chanting, the conscious resolution. And the Devi Mahatmyam, verse 34 from chapter 12, describes that the goddess enchants this universe and she herself gives birth to this universe. That goddess, being prayed without interest in anything, gives that knowledge that leads to salvation and gives wealth in the materialistic sense. And you can offer the conscious resolution, the Sankalpa, and receive the blessings of Devi Parashakti for the fruition of all the desires and wishes that you yearn for. You can make this offering of the Sankalpa chanting on the website www.kailasamailer.com. And the next offering to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Sahasranama Swarnakasu. And Devi is described as Nama Parayana Prita in Lalita Sahasranama. And this means she who likes the repetition of her various names. And through this offering of the Sahasranama Swarnakasu, which is the pure gold coin inscribed with one of the 1008 sacred names of Devi Parashakti, you can make this offering of the Sahasranama Swarnakasu, which is a very special and unique archana offered to the Mahameru of Devi Parashakti. And in this offering, each gold coin is inscribed with one of the 1008 sacred names of Devi Parashakti, which describe her Ananta Kalyana Gunas, her divine qualities. And the devotee offering is also blessed to imbibe these very divine qualities of Devi Parashakti herself. So you can make this offering of the Sahasranama Swarnakasu, the pure gold coin, in 3 different denominations, and you can offer any number of coins as you would wish to. And these offerings can be made on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. The next offering to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Mukta Anguti, the gold finger ring embedded with pearl. And Devi is described as the one who is adorned with garlands of pearl, decked with pearl. So let us look at this verse which describes her beauty and splendor as she is decorated with pearl. It says, मुक्ताहारलसत्किरीटरुचिरां पूर्णेन्दुवक्त्रप्रभां शिञ्जन्नोपुरकिङ्किणिमणिधरां पद्मप्रभाभासुरां सर्वाभीतफलप्रदां गिरिसुतां वाणीरमासेवितां मीनाक्षीं प्रणतोऽस्मि सन्ततमहं कारुण्यवारां निधिम्. The translation for this verse: I bow to the goddess Meenakshi, whose crown has garlands of pearls, and the face shining like full moon, who wears anklets that are studded with gemstones and has small bells, who is shining like the splendor of lotus, who grants all the wishes, the daughter of the mountain, who is worshipped by the goddesses Vani and Rama. I remain ever bowing to the goddess Meenakshi, the ocean of compassion. And you can make this offering of the Mukta Anguti, the gold finger ring embedded with pearl, to Devi Parashakti, and receive the blessings to be showered by her pure love and compassion in all your business endeavors. You can make this offering on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. And the next offering to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Swarna Padma Pushpa, the golden lotus flower. And the lotus flower is described in various scriptures in the Hindu tradition as sacred for the worship of the divine. So let us look at this verse from Kamika Agama, which describes one of the many significance of the lotus flower. It says, अष्टविद्येष्वरोपेत कुम्भावरणसंयुतं सर्वे ससूत्रवस्त्राढ्या हेमपङ्कजभूषिताः सपिधनः सत्पुरच्चश्च पक्वबिल्वफलप्रभा स्नपनध्याय संसिद्धा प्रमाणेन समन्विताः. The translation of this verse, it says, all the kalashas should be wound around with a suitable thread and covered with new cloth. They should be adorned with the lotus flower made of gold. And there are hundreds of scriptural references in the Hindu tradition for using the lotus in the worship of Paramashiva. Almost everything in the worship of the ultimate involving the consecration of deities of worship or meditating on them during worship involves the lotus flower, the lotus leaf, the lotus pericarp, the lotus petals. The lotus is a divine flower in the Hindu tradition. The Shakti of Paramashiva is also called as a lotus. The base of the Paramashiva linga is the lotus. The disciple of Paramashiva is also considered a lotus, the one who is about to bloom. And you can make this offering of the gold lotus in any of 3 different sizes as you would wish to, and be blessed to have the state, space, powers and being of Devi Parashakti in your inner space amidst any and every adverse situations in life. So you can make this offering of the Swarna Padma Pushpa, the gold lotus flower, on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. And the next offering to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Swarna Metti, the gold touring. And this verse from the Saundarya Lahari describes the beauty of Devi Parashakti's sacred lotus feet. It says, Natadhiditi Sanchanna Namajjana Tamo Guna Padadvaya Prabhajala Parakrita Saroruha. The translation of this verse, it says, you whose brightness from the toenails destroy the darkness of ignorance from the minds of straight at your feet, you whose brightness powers that of the lotus flower too. And you can make this offering of the Swarna Metti, the gold touring, to Devi Parashakti, adorning her sacred lotus feet, and to be in the constant gratitude for receiving her blessings in even the most difficult aspects of life. So you can make this offering on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. And the next traditional offering to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Swarna Mangtika, the gold hairline jewelry. And Devi is described as Sudha Sharabhi Varshini, she who makes the nectar flow in all our nerves from the Sahasrara. That is she who gives the very pleasant experience of the ultimate. And the Swarna Mangtika represents the nectar flowing from the Sahasrara Chakra, which is fully opened with the sacred sentiment of gratitude. And you can make this offering of the Swarna Mangtika, the gold hairline jewelry, to Devi Parashakti and receive the blessings of achieving the blissful state of overflowing gratitude and the space of complete completion. And you can make this offering of the Swarna Mangtika, the gold hairline jewelry, on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. The next offering to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Pratyaksha Pada Puja. This is the beautiful and most sacred ritualistic offering of gratitude that every disciple yearns to offer to the Guru. And you can make this offering of the Pratyaksha Pada Puja on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. And Saundarya Lahari describes the beauty of the lotus feet of Devi Parashakti. It states that the nails that have been sharpened by constantly being touched by the crowns of celestial beings who always prostrate before Devi. And Tamoguna is the darkness in this verse. Tamas is indicative of the ignorance in the minds of the devotees. And by constantly prostrating before Devi, their ignorance is removed and they attain the ultimate knowledge. And you can make this offering of the Pratyaksha Pada Puja to Devi Parashakti and be blessed with all the auspiciousness and blessings of Devi Parashakti and the Nijavatar of Devi Parashakti herself, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasanidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagwan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam. And the next offering of the sacred rituals and sevas to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Vastra Seva. This is the offering of the sacred cloth, which is offered as a gratitude for the divine protection at all times in our life. The offering of the Vastra Seva blesses the Yajaman with all of Devi Parashakti and the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasanidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagwan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam. They can make this offering of the Vastra Seva, the sacred cloth, the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. So here we have a summary of the various offerings, the various traditional offerings that can be made to Devi Parashakti today as you get ready to receive her blessings and darshan, and as you celebrate the happening of Devi Parashakti in your life. So you can make the offering of the e-hundi, which can be offered in any amount and in multiple currencies. You can also offer the Sankalpa chanting, the conscious resolution, on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. You can also offer the Devi Sahasranamaka Swarnakasu, which is the offering of the pure gold coin inscribed with one of the 1008 sacred names of Devi Parashakti. Each coin is inscribed with one sacred name, and these pure gold coins in any of 3 different denominations, and you can offer any number of coins as you would wish to offer. And the next offering is the Mukta Anguti, the pearl finger ring, the gold ring embedded with pearl. And you can make this offering also on the website in 3 different sizes. You can offer the Swarna Padma Pushpa, the gold lotus flower, to Devi Parashakti in 3 different sizes. You can make the offering of the Swarna Metti, the gold toe ring, to adorn the sacred lotus feet of Devi Parashakti on the website also. The Swarna Mangtika, the gold hairline jewelry which represents the overflowing nectar of gratitude from the Sahasrara Chakra. You can make this offering to Devi Parashakti on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas, and you can also make the offering of the Pratyaksha Pada Puja, the traditional ritualistic offering of gratitude, one of the most sacred offerings and one of the most favorite offerings of each disciple to the Guru. You can make this offering of the Pratyaksha Pada Puja on the website, and you can also make the offering of the Vastra Seva, the sacred cloth offering to Devi Parashakti. So you can make all of these traditional offerings on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. And now let us take a look at the website where you can sign up for any of these offerings to Devi Parashakti as you get ready to receive her darshan and blessings today. So here you can see the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas, and as we scroll down on the website, you can click on the links here on step 2 for making the offerings to Devi Parashakti. So you can click on this link to in step 2 to make the offerings of the ornaments and the sevas, the traditional ornaments and the sevas to Devi Parashakti. And you can also click on this link for the e-hundi offerings, where you can make your offerings of e-hundi in any amount and in multiple currencies. So here you can make the offerings of e-hundi in multiple currencies of US dollars, Australian dollars, New Zealand dollars, Canadian dollars, euros, Indian rupees, Singaporean dollars, Malaysian ringgits, Great Britain pound, and the Chinese yen. And you can make this offering of the e-hundi in any amount of your choice. You can also make the offering of the traditional ornaments and sevas to Devi Parashakti on this website, where you can offer the Sankalpa chanting, the conscious resolution, the Devi Sahasranama Swarnakasu, the offering of the pure gold coin in 3 different denominations, the Mukta Anguti, the gold finger ring embedded with pearl in 3 different sizes, the Swarna Padma Pushpa, the gold lotus flower in 3 different sizes, the Swarna Metti, the gold toe ring adorning the sacred lotus feet of Devi Parashakti, the Swarna Mangtika, the gold hairline jewelry, which represents the overflowing nectar from the Sahasrara Chakra. And you can also make the offering of the Pratyaksha Pada Puja, the Vastra Seva, and any of the traditional offerings of ornaments or sevas. You can register for any of these traditional offerings on the website, and the website again is www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. And if you would like to make an intention to make an offering today and would like to be blessed with the grace and blessings of Devi Parashakti to manifest your intention into reality, you can submit the form on step 1. And if you've made your offerings of ornaments or the sevas, and if you would like to fill out the conscious resolution, make the conscious resolution, the sankalpa for yourself and your family members, you can fill out the form on step 3 with your name and the names of your family members and your conscious resolution to Devi Parashakti. So you can make all of these offerings on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. And now with that, let us now get ready for the next segment of this program, where we'll be learning more about the various facilities being made available for the well-being, for the care and well-being of humanity through the various de facto spiritual embassies of Kailasa, and as guided by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself and as per the revelations of Devi Parashakti. So let us learn more now about these various facilities being made available and the innumerable spiritual contributions of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and the Kailasas, the de facto spiritual embassies of Kailasa for humanity. So let us learn more about these in the next upcoming segments and prepare ourselves to receive the darshan, the divine darshan and blessings of Devi Parashakti.
We get you health. We get you ability to build beautiful relationships in your life. We get you direct spiritual support, and we make sure you become wealthy. We won't stop giving you just good life. We will literally not stop till you live enlightened life. Manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. Whole world should become e-Kailashian. I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great to contribute to the world. We have something great to contribute to the world. Let us do that. E-Kailasa is proper customized spiritual service helping you to identify your root patterns of suffering. We have perfected the science of helping every individual from every cultural, religious, nationality background. You will have lowest reactionary assumptions, highest awakened response, alive response for life continuously. E-Kailasa is enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself in your own home, wherever you are. Proper customized spiritual service helping you to complete with your life negativity. Withdrawal from life, self-hatred, self-denial, self-doubt, so much of tiredness, laziness. We can support you aligning your diet, your attitude, your aptitude, your understanding about life. We can help you with everything. If you are interested in enlightenment, we will immediately bring this to you. If you are not interested, we will explain the whole science, inspire you.
Nithyanandam, welcome back. Now, in this segment, we are going to learn about the multi-layer quarantine COVID care protection centers at the de facto spiritual embassies of Kailasa. So, with the blessings of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam blessings, let's start with the Sadguru Vandanam. Nithyanandam Paramaswagadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadusham Tattvamasya Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Triguna Rahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. So what you learn from the segment today? Concerning statistics on mental health and global peace across the world due to COVID-19. What are the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and Kailasa's contributions for global peace? Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, spiritual solutions for COVID-19, Kailasa's COVID care protection centers, some glimpses, why temple-based ecosystems, UN recognizes Kailasa's contributions, join the Kailasa's COVID care protection centers if you are in India. The crisis that we are under, today people around the world are trying to grapple with the grim reality that the pandemic is far from over. The aftermath of the current calamity promises to be much more devastating. The greatest economics of the world are facing disputes. Countries are facing off each other in a deep mistrust. Now let us see some of the statistics and current news. The area amid third wave of COVID-19. Let us see the statistics across the world. The World Health Organization makes a big statement about Delta variant of COVID-19. The World Health Organization recently said that the Delta variant of coronavirus has elbowed out all the other COVID-19 variants of concern that now represent a tiny fraction of the samples which are being sequenced. COVID-19 has now killed more Americans than the influenza pandemic of 1918 to 19 pandemic did. The coronavirus pandemic has now killed more Americans than the 1918 to 19 influenza pandemic did. The 1918 to 19 flu infected about 25% of Americans and killed an estimated 0.65% with 675,000 deaths. COVID-19 has infected more than 12% of Americans and killed about 0.2% with 676,000 deaths. Now that the US death toll from COVID-19 has surpassed 676,000 and coronavirus pandemic has killed more Americans than the 1918 to 19 influenza pandemic did. Axios and other Associated Press both reported the grim milestone recently. So, COVID-19 now officially US deadliest pandemic as the death toll crosses that of 1918 to 19 flu. People infected with the alpha variant exhales 100 times more virus into the air than original COVID strain. 6 feet distance may not be enough to prevent indoors. Delta variant still most concerning, says the World Health Organization experts. And US COVID-19 pandemic under control in the US, says the chief medical advisor Anthony Fauci. He said, right now we are still in pandemic mode because we have 160,000 new infections a day. That's not even modestly in good control. In an interview with Axios, the US has reported 40 million cases of COVID-19 since the outbreak of the virus, with over 4 million infections adding up in the past few weeks. The increase in COVID cases comes as the US administration earlier this month announced that this is planning to provide booster shots of the vaccine as the Delta variant has become dominant in the nation and is wreaking havoc. The surge in Delta variant is driven by the low vaccination coverage in many communities across the US, according to the US Center for Disease Control and Prevention. In a country of our size, you can't be hanging around and having 100,000 infections a day. You've got to get well below 10,000 before you start feeling comfortable. A report on COVID-19 that the COVID-19 made the world less peaceful, a report by the World Economic Forum. COVID-19, the violent incidences increased after the pandemic and fatalities during this pandemic. It is making the world less peaceful, not only the concerns with the health, not only physical health and the mental health, but it is making the less world peaceful. And statistics that the younger adults are more likely to report symptoms of anxiety and a depressive disorder during the COVID-19 pandemic. The average share of adults reporting symptoms of anxiety disorder and a depressive disorder, what it was in 6 months period in 2019 from January to June was 11%. Now, in just 1 month, in January 2021, it increased to 41.1%. Some more statistics showing the same, that the younger adults are reporting symptoms of anxiety and a depressive disorder during the COVID-19 pandemic. Stress in America, a national mental health crisis. Nearly 8 in 10, that is 78%, say the coronavirus pandemic is a significant source of stress in their lives. Nearly 7 in 10, which is 67%, say they have experienced increased stress over the course of the pandemic. COVID-19 could exacerbate doctors' existing mental health bulletin, mental health burden. More than 60,000 US health workers have contracted COVID-19, 300 have died. And of the health workers who treated patients during the China's COVID-19 outbreak, 50% showed signs of depression and 45% showed signs of anxiety. Self-reported mental health among pregnant women and new mothers. Before COVID-19 pandemic, the depression was 15%. Now, during the pandemic, it rose up to 40.7%. The anxiety was reported by the new mothers and pregnant women before the pandemic was 29%. Now, this anxiety levels during the pandemic increased to 72%. Living under stay-at-home orders, 8 in 10 students are struggling with focus on school or work and avoiding distractions, and 55% of all students do not know where to go for help for their mental health. Understanding the pandemic's impact on working women, nearly 82% of the women surveyed said their lives have been negatively disrupted by the pandemic. Nearly 70% of women who have experienced these disruptions are concerned their career growth may be limited as a result. The global economic outlook during the COVID-19 pandemic, a changed world. The pandemic is expected to plunge most countries into recession in 2020, with per capita income contracting the larger impact fraction of countries globally since 1870. International Labour Organization, COVID-19 is a threat to peace building and in conflict affected nations. The COVID-19 crisis has worsened already fragile situation. The ILO is more aware than ever of its responsibility to promote peace and resilience in the time of this global pandemic. In Mumbai, the mayor says the third wave is not coming, it's already here. The breakthrough infections found in 25% of health staff. New COVID-19 variant Mu shows signs of vaccine resistance. So, as we see across the world, the statistics of the status of the COVID-19 pandemic, and it's not only concerning the health, fatalities, and mental health affecting especially the younger generation, and it is causing the concerning statistics affecting the global peace. It is important how to cope up with this current COVID-19 pandemic and the associated result. It is important to address the COVID-19 pandemic, which is seeing another wave, destroying many more lives. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism says the pandemic fatigue setting in as a result of continuous lockdown is resulting in delusional ignorance. Holding on to the delusion and supporting this space of delusional decisions leads to delusional arrogance, leads to delusional thoughts like, so what if I die? It's okay. I can't live forever in this lockdown. Going out and then exposing oneself and putting the risk on yourself and others with irresponsibility and insecurity is the delusional arrogance. The global COVID virus pandemic has left the whole world desperately looking for answers. Life as it had been experienced even back in February 2020 is no longer recognizable. A drastic change is the order of the day, with people having to redefine their world with new paradigms of economy, society, faith, religion, and health. Blessed are those who have had the greatest fortune to be with incarnation of Paramashiva, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, in their lives to carry them through this crisis. To join the Kailasa's COVID care production centers, and if especially for India, register below https:// kailasa.org/kailasa Now, sustainable developmental goals. Making peace with nature is possible if we start now. Even amid pandemic, 2021 can go down as the year we made peace with the nature and set the planet to healing. Our environmental, social, and economic challenges are interlinked. They must be tackled together. For example, we cannot achieve the sustainable developmental goals, including ending poverty by 2030, if climate change and ecosystem collapse are undermining food and water supplies in the world's poorest countries. We have no choice but to transform our economics and societies by valuing nature and putting its health at the heart of all our decisions. Now let's watch a small clip. The World Health Organization's Health and Peace Initiative. Health and peace are interrelated, in the words of the Director General of World Health Organization, Dr. Tedros. There cannot be health without peace, and there cannot be peace without health. United States Institute of Peace. Amid COVID, we need enhanced international coordination to build peace. Tackling the pandemic and building resilience in fragile situations and fragile states require concerted international action at local, national, and global levels. As the humanitarian and economic toll of the COVID-19 pandemic continues to grow, so does the risk that this crisis will fuel new conflicts around the world for resolving ongoing crises. Stronger healthcare systems and universal health coverage must be a priority. Remarks to the General Assembly special session in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. For the first time since 1945, the entire world is confronted by a common threat, regardless of nationality, ethnicity, or faith. A new social contract between people, governments, and private sector, civil society, and more can tackle the roots of inequality with fair taxation on income and wealth, universal benefits, and opportunities for all. Now let us see the contributions of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and the Kailasa's contributions. Vedic tradition beautifully describes Yastu Sarvani Bhutani Atmani Ivanu Pushyati Sarva Bhuteshu Chatmanam Tadona Vivibhukshate. Verse 6 from Isha Upanishad. The global peace is the byproduct of the individual bliss. Whenever an individual goes through a spiritual, a beautiful, peaceful life for him and everyone around him. If he is powerful enough, he moves the whole city and manifests peace. He is more powerful, he moves the whole village. If he is powerful enough, like incarnation, he moves the whole world and manifests peace for them. So, for individual peace, global is the byproduct. Global peace, the individual peace. So, how do we achieve that individual peace? Each one of us. So, by practicing technique that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism explains now from this video.
Today I wanted to expand on the science of completion. How the science of completion can directly impact the consciousness you are carrying and the consciousness embodied in many bodies. Please understand, the more deeper you go inside you, means more deeper space you go inside you, more expanded you become, more one with everything, more oneness you experience. Because the more deeper you go, the more you experience the unified field of consciousness. Various words are used. Some of the Hindu traditions uses the word Atma, Brahman. Some of the Hindu traditions use the word Nirvana. Whatever word you may use, Atman, Brahman, Nirvana, unified field of consciousness, whatever. But one thing I want to tell you, the deeper and deeper you go in your inner space, you experience the vast oneness. The more superficial you are, the more incompletions you carry with others, even with yourself. The more superficial you become, even your own right hand and left hand fights with each other. Different parts of you fights with you. Different thoughts of you fights with you. Even you fight with you, the more superficial you go, the more deeper you start traveling. First, you get integrated. The you fighting with you stops. Then, the people around you get integrated. They fighting with you stops. Completion with yourself, then completion with others, then comes completion with other things, not just living beings, even with inanimate beings. The completion starts happening. Even with a nature, completion starts